So we got that all laid up. See, I stepped up a course there. I think I'm gonna add right here. I didn't plan on stepping up again, but if you kind of look over the top, you can see this part's not gonna be quite high enough to match that grade over there. And I wanna make dang sure I'm high enough over there so I got plenty of fall away from the house on that ditch. So we'll get the siding over there peeled back and jump up 2 more courses. What do you think of my Dr. Seuss drain pipe? Nice. So all I'm doing here is taking the bags from the concrete and the mortar, any of the holes that are not going to get core poured or filled all the way up with concrete, shove these bags in the hole, fill it the rest of it up with mortar or concrete. That way whenever I pour my concrete cap, I don't lose all of it down the hole. Back to using this cement mixer that I fixed up on one of my other videos. It seems to be working pretty well for this project so far. 1 80-pound bag of Sakrete at a time is what I've been doing with it. Wet it down pretty good, pour it down these cores. You can see I have a piece of number 4 half-inch rebar sticking out. Once everything's cured up, we'll take that rebar, we'll bend it down into where the cap's gonna be. That way everything is tied together nice and tight. Okay, so since I went 2 more courses up, I got to strip that foam back at the top, just like I've done at the bottom here. I want to fill that in solid with concrete. That's why I wasn't too worried about how all the blocks tied into the wall. Originally, I was just going to form it all up with wood, but I don't really feel like messing with that, so I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to take a piece of waterproofing, run it from the house over to the cinder block wall, and do 2 or 3 lifts of Sakrete in there to fill that up solid so that retaining wall has a solid core leaning up against the house. That should tie everything in nice and tight. Alright, so obviously it starts to bulge. I didn't expect the waterproofing to hold it back perfectly. Like I said, all I'm trying to do is get about 3 courses high. That way I can get my drainage pipe in, get my stone backfill in, so whenever I work on the form work for the concrete cap, I'm not working in the mud anymore. Throw a little stone on the bulge, that holds it in well enough to get up 3 courses. It worked about as well as I expected it to. We'll chalk it up as a win and move on to the next step. Alright, so obviously it was going to bulge out. I mean, we're talking about trying to use waterproofing as a concrete form. But it wasn't too big of a deal to take some 5s. Just drug them down here. That's the backfill from the original basement. Take those 5s, throw them on there, counteract that pressure. Held the concrete in place well enough. You can still see it's wet. Let's go ahead and poke it. That's a great idea. But we are about 3 courses up right about here, which is perfect. That allows me to come back and I can go ahead and put my 4-inch perforated drain tile in go ahead and put some stone on top of that tile right in this area here. Just get a little bit in here. That way I'm not working in the mud anymore whenever I start forming up this concrete cap. So we'll call that a wrap to part 3. Get a bunch of this mess cleaned up. You can see the number 4 bar sticking out. Got those cores filled up all the way. Like I said earlier, we'll bend those down so it is into the concrete cap. Keep it all tied together. So that'll make that concrete cap nice and secure, tied into the wall. That concrete cap will have 3 runs of number 4 half-inch rebar, which will add a lot of protection against lateral forces on the top end of this wall. Still haven't quite figured out what we're going to do on this side. Manufactured stone, just rub it with mortar, I don't know. Anyway, like I said, thanks for stopping by. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. A lot of exciting things coming up, so you're going to want to make sure you stay tuned.